Breaking news. Plane crashes into a home in Minnesota. Come on in, folks. Another plane crash. Home bursted out in flames. Whoa, this is Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Got some of the footage here. We're going to talk about what's going on and try to get an understanding of what happened here with a small plane that apparently crashed right into a home and bursted into flames. Fire department at the scene. This is some of the footage, folks. We're waiting to get more information about what happened here with this small plane. Unclear if anyone died, but this does not look good at all. Come on in, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, which is right outside Minneapolis. They're saying it's around 109th Avenue North and Noble Parkway. Whoa, this looks bad, folks. This looks really bad. And we've been covering plane crashes on the channel. So we're going to try to get an understanding of what's going on here. I'm assuming there probably will be a press conference or something to indicate what happened here. Daily Mail came out with an article. I'm going to read some of the information from the Daily Mail. Also, Fox 9 seems like they're also talking about this situation. I put it on mute. Shortly, you'll hear the sound aspect. And as clips become available and more information, if we get a live stream, boots on the ground there, we will most definitely share. But a lot of plane crashes lately, folks. A lot of planes. And it seems like some of these plane crashes are happening on the weekend. A few weekends back, we were talking about the one out there in Manheim Township, Pennsylvania, that almost hit an elderly retirement home complex that landed in the parking lot. This is not good at all. They're saying that this incident happened around 12:30 p.m. 12:30 p.m. That would be Central. So 2 hours into this. 2 hours into this situation. And there are reports, though, that the occupants in the house were not there or were able to get out safely. So that's something that is being reported, but I'll try to find out for sure. They're saying the plane was a SOCATA or SOCATA TBM7 single-engine business aircraft. Firefighters at the scene putting this bad boy out.
I think you see something.
Horrible situation. That's some of the footage. So we're getting, as the footage is coming out, we're going to share. Massive, just horrible, folks. Horrible. Unsure about casualties in this situation right now. So as we gather up information, we'll try to get the information. But these are some of the footage at the scene there in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is crazy. You know, folks, just the other day, yesterday, we were going to talk about in Washington, D.C., there was a near miss between a Delta plane and a military jet. Similar to the situation that happened there at the airport a little bit back. Small planes, big planes, commercial, helicopters. This stuff is crazy. Crazy, folks. For sure. Fox 9 is saying no one was actually inside that home. Governor of Minnesota has put out a statement saying team is in touch with local officials on the scene and they are monitoring the situation closely. Grateful to the first responders answering the call. crazy. We think we got the flight path here. I'll share that. It apparently the plane, the tail of the plane, it's identified as N as in Nancy 721MB. This is crazy, folks. Apparently, this is the direction. So it kind of beeline to the east. Now, this is just north of Minneapolis. Now, watch. As it right before around 109th Avenue North and Noble Parkway. And at the last second, it curves up. Watch how it curves up. Boom. And that's it. See? It was going literally east. That's the Mississippi River right there. And I'll show it again. But this is wild because it looks like it turned to the east. It's going east. Small plane. And then right at the last second, it curves north. I believe this plane originated from Des Moines, Iowa. Something something really, really bad happened to this plane. See the curve? See how it just curved? Like what? Now, let me ask everybody in the chat if anyone knows anything about planes or this whole thing. How does a plane? I mean, what's happening here? What do you think happened here, right at that last second to make that hook? What do you think happened? I know a lot of people saying stall spin, suspicious, no gas, running out of gas. In the last second, stalled, low airspeed, stalled. Scary. Very, very scary. So that's an indication of what happened here. We're still trying to assess the situation. Taking you back to here. So they are reporting that no one in the home has died. Unclear how many people were actually on this plane itself.
10 minutes ago, this house was still there.
Some of the footage that's out as we gather more information. The media, KSTP.com, is reporting unclear how many people were on board. And it did come from Des Moines. And it was going to the Anoka County Blaine Airport in Minneapolis. That's where it was headed to. So it almost made it to the airport. I'm sure the governor's probably going to go to the scene. And maybe we'll get more information. So it started in Des Moines. I'm going to get hold on. I'll find out some more information shortly.
Oh, gosh.
How many can that aircraft hold? Survey says. It's a family of high-performance single-engine turboprop business and utility-light aircraft. Looks like these planes have been in service since around 1990. 6 passengers it can hold, plus the pilot,
10 minutes
with a
ago, this
standard
house was still there.
configuration of 2 crew seats and 4 passenger seats. Maximum of 6 people. Unclear how many people were on this terrible incident that happened. So we're going to keep the conversation going and try to learn more about what happened. This is scary stuff. Gathering information. Yeah, it was going north from Des Moines, and then it hit that curve. It started curving, and it started going towards the airport. And then, boom. That is absolutely crazy, folks. Absolutely crazy.
Holy crap.
Seems like this is the only really footage that's out there thus far. Waiting for a media report or some sort of live shot at the area. At least we can understand the cleanup. I want to know how many people were on the plane. But just showing you, like, it's absolutely insane. Lots of law enforcement out there. Ring camera. Oh. Whoa. Did you see that? Holy smokes. Did you see it fall from the sky? Look between the trees. Whoa. That is crazy. It fell from the sky, literally. That is crazy. More and more starting to trickle out. Stay with us, folks, as we try to understand how in the world this happened. Once again, another plane crash. That is crazy. Come on in, come on in, come on in. That is crazy. Right there. My goodness. Like a missile. Like a missile falling from the sky here. Tailspin, stall, run out of fuel. Started out in Des Moines, Iowa. Now in that area, folks, there's it looks like, according to radar right now, there's a mixture of some like rain and snow in the air. I wonder if weather had a play in this at any point. It reached, during the course of its flight, it reached a top altitude of 25,000 feet, and then it just at one point just plummeted. Crazy. It's supposed to arrive at the airport at 12:28 p.m. 12:28 p.m. Anoka County, Blaine, which is the airport outside Minneapolis. Left Des Moines at 11:12 Central. It was supposed to be an hour and 16-minute flight. apparently before, so it's interesting. It's interesting because that plane, before it was at the plane before it went from Des Moines to Minnesota there, this morning the plane came from Naples, Florida, according to flight radar. According to flight radar, the plane came from Naples. It left Naples at 7:25 Eastern this morning, got to Des Moines around 10:27. It was a 4-hour flight. And then 45 minutes later at 11:12, it took off. So it was traveling pretty far today. Originated from Naples, Florida this morning. Huh. Who's on that plane? Who is on the plane? Plane crash, Minnesota, folks. Scary stuff. So we're going to get more information. Hopefully we get a news clip or something to indicate what's going on. We're kind of finding out this information ourselves. Struck a residential area into a home. Right into a home. Has a maximum seating capacity. They're saying 7, including 2 seats in the cockpit. 6 really holds 6. Most people are saying 6. Some are saying 7. For people who are in the chat, this is the area 109th North and Noble Parkway. Scary stuff. Try to get some more info. Keep the conversation going.
I don't think you've seen something.
Crazy. I actually have a picture of the plane. Stand by, but we're showing you footage from here. You hear them?
Holy crap. Oh my gosh.
Unclear if any survivors on the plane or not. I have a bad feeling that there was no survivors. This is my opinion. Again, I don't want to, but I'm only speculating.
10 minutes ago,
Why
this
do
house
plane
is still
crashes
there.
keep happening? Crazy, right?
Holy crap.
This is crazy, folks.
Gosh.
I continue to scour around to try to get more updated information on what happened here.
Ten minutes ago, this house was still there.
On the scene here in Brooklyn Park where a small plane has crashed into a home. I'm going to flip the camera around. You can see here firefighter crews continuing to put out the fire. This home here is completely destroyed. According to FlightAware, it looks like it was a small plane that was traveling from Des Moines, Iowa to Minneapolis. We don't really have any much more information at this time. The police say their public information officer is going to be arriving on the scene soon. Hopefully he'll be able to give us more information. You can see here a ton of members from the community are out watching this scene. Of course, dozens of emergency personnel are here. It's hard to see much more besides this angle right here because there are a lot of trees and houses that would be blocking the view. But here you have the best view of the house that has been completely destroyed by this plane. You really can't even see any pieces of the plane from where I am. You may be able to see here a piece of the plane in the tree there. Of course, a very scary scene here in Brooklyn Park. We'll deliver more information online and on air at KARE 11.
Like a plane crash in Brooklyn Park.
Yeah, because we did so many smoke.
Looks like the PIO is coming. Look at that. We're showing you the different angles. Literally hit a home. Literally hit a home. This is crazy, folks. This is the PIO is apparently going to the scene here. Brooklyn Park. Brooklyn Park. Possible it hit on Sunset Trail North. Could be Sunset Trail North, according to that map. Looks like Sunset Trail North.
Gosh.
So we got some information up. We're going to try to understand more. Stay with us as we get more information as it comes through. I expect some sort of press conference or something. Hopefully. This is horrible. That's where it landed.
Ten minutes ago, this house was still there.
Really close to the Mississippi River. It was really close to the Mississippi River. Again, for people coming in, here is the track of this plane that came from Des Moines, Iowa. And then literally just went in. It's insane. See? Like, I think the flight was supposed to go a little bit further east to the airport, and then man, that's horrible. Anoka County Airport. Blaine Airport. So there's an airway there. It's it's not far. It was literally about 10 miles from the airport. It was literally west. It was going from west to east on that trajectory towards the airport, which has a runway similar to where, this thing is. Like, it was en route close to the runway. They got a runway, which is across, and it appears it was going at the runway, which west to east. And right before the Mississippi River, it curved. And then boom. Boom. Scary. So I think it was about 10 miles from the airport. It's my estimate. About 10 miles from the airport. Due west. 10 miles due west of the airport. Let me see. I'm going to go back and see exactly what house that is. I might be able to pinpoint exact. I want to say it's 4108 Sunset. But I want to make sure here. It's hard to tell because Google Maps have a lot of snow on the Google Maps here. But I do see it next to that. It's hard to tell. But man, see that? Why do these plane crashes keep happening, ladies and gentlemen? That's the center of the conversation. As we try to get more information about this terrible incident, we don't know how many people are on board. And we're waiting for a report to see what happens. Des Moines, Iowa. Some people say Des Moines. Des Moines, Iowa. Once again, another plane crash. Started out in Naples this morning. Naples. Went to Des Moines. Got there. The exact time at Des Moines, 10:27. And then from there at 11:12, it left Des Moines and was supposed to land at the airport nearby outside Minneapolis. And it looks like at 12:28 p.m. Now that area right now, let me see the weather. Because like I said, the radar looks like, according to the radar, it's like little like rain showers and snow showers. 39 degrees. Some parts in that area have mix, in a wintry mix. Wondering if weather had anything to do with this at all. Just to the north, in North Branch, just to the north, the radar says like sleet, St. Cloud area, sleet, mixture, Benson, Morris. But in that area, it's rain, but it's a cold rain. It's a cold rain. And then just west, massive amount of snow. There are people coming back in. There was a plane crash. And unclear what's going on here as far as death toll. We showed the ring camera. We'll show that shortly. FAA confirms plane crash. FAA confirms plane crash. Crazy. We're going to get some more new information shortly. Stand by. Neighbor told one of news outlets that he felt his house shake with the impact of the airport crash. The roof had been torn off. Stand by. We got a news report coming up. Stand by.
Why that plane went down. And at this point, we also don't know how many people could have been aboard. And I've said it over and over again. I'm just going to bring it up again. We have heard from witnesses in the area, people that live nearby, that people got out of that home safely. That has not been confirmed by police. So we don't know if there was anyone inside the home. We don't know how many people could have been inside the home. And hopefully that will be answered in the press conference that is going to be coming up shortly. So initially, that press conference was scheduled for around 3 o'clock. Here we are at 3:20, and we are hoping to hear from them at least within the next 20 minutes or so. That was delayed for us as they, as I imagine, are still trying to get all of their information gathered and to make sure that they are conveying accurate information to us to then convey to you. So if you are just joining us right now on our KARE 11 Plus stream, we are coming to you with breaking news of a plane crash into a Brooklyn Park home. The NTSB says that this was a single engine aircraft that was leaving Des Moines, Iowa, and was heading towards the Anoka County Blaine Airport. It crashed about 5 miles short of that airport, and it crashed into a home. We are waiting to find out if there was anyone inside that home at the time of this crash, which was, according to the FAA, around 12:20 midday on a Saturday. And we don't know if anyone was inside that home. We don't know how many people could have been aboard. So we are standing by waiting to hear from our first responders that are at the scene. Again, we do just have to say thank you to our first responders for getting there so quickly. That fire at that home after the plane went down, it just kind of takes your breath away. Even just comprehending the fact that a plane fell from the sky and went into a home. You know, sadly, we've been in the media here covering a number of plane crashes within this past year, and you just don't imagine that one happens right in your backyard like this. And so thank you to our first responders who put their lives on the line every day, but really thank you for getting there so quickly. And hopefully we'll be hearing from those first responders soon on exactly any new information that they can provide for us. Our Jessica Hart is standing by right now. Jessica has been out there talking with people all afternoon. Jessica has been standing by, talking with our first responders there. Have you heard from any officials recently?
Morgan, we're still waiting to get that update from officials. That should be happening within the next maybe 15 to 10 minutes. That's what we were told about 20 minutes ago. But we have seen some fire crews leave the scene just about 30 seconds ago. So it looks like things are starting to kind of wrap up, and maybe only essential personnel that needs to be here for this investigation are still hanging around. But this is just a clearer shot of the street down here. You can see how much of Kyle Street that they have blocked off here as they continue to investigate near their command center. We do see what kind of appears to be a drone up in the sky. It looks like they have it tethered down to a truck because it is so windy, but the crews that were here earlier, there's just so many fewer people here as we wait to get an update from officials on what exactly happened, how this happened, and if anyone was hurt in this investigation. Now, they did tell us about 20-ish minutes ago that they would be giving us an update here shortly, so we are all just waiting patiently to see what first responders can share with us about this crash here. Now, for the most part, it seems to be pretty wrapped up. There's really, from what we can tell, only one fire engine still left here. They still have that hose hooked up, but they haven't sprayed the house with water within the past, I would say, 30 minutes or so. So it looks like everything seems to be okay inside. They're not worried about any hot spots, but there's just debris from this home just kind of scattered throughout the front yard. The neighbors to both sides of that home have been evacuated as police and first responders continue to investigate this crash. The crowds have really died down. There was a ton of people when we first got on scene. Now it's just a couple people out walking about, just taking in this sight. You can still see the shock and awe in people's faces when they look at just the damage that this plane crash has caused. So again, we are still waiting on official update here from police about what exactly happened, but we have noticed a few fire crews leaving the scene, so indicating that the scene is starting to kind of wrap up. They're still going to be here for quite some time though, but just anyone who does not need to be here, it looks like they are slowly leaving. Back to you, Morgan.
All right, Jessica, thank you so much for giving us that update. You know, Jessica, pointing out that some of those first responders are starting to pack up. And so this situation, the scene is contained, and they are keeping an eye on hot spots at this point at that home where that massive fire was after that plane crashed into it. So first responders are monitoring the situation there, and we are hoping to hear from them soon. We are standing by at this point for a press conference with those officials in Brooklyn Park. But we are coming to you now with some new video of immediate aftermath right after that plane went down. Look at, oh my gosh, look at that black smoke right there. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Rows of cars, you can see kind of in that rear view mirror. This is a very busy road, 109th and Nome Parkway, also in that area. Nome Parkway, one of the main roads through Brooklyn Park here. Across the river is into Champlin, and so any of you familiar with that area at all? This is filled with homes, and this isn't common that you see planes go down into neighborhoods like this, and it is really hard for a lot of those neighbors to process right now, who have told our reporters that they are just simply in shock, and people are still waiting to find out if there was anyone inside that home, anyone maybe that they knew, any of their neighbors that they knew that could have been inside there. And so speaking of neighbors and people that are at the scene, our reporters have been talking with people constantly since they have been out there, and we have some new sound for you to listen to.
What happened? When did you realize that there was something that was going on in your neighborhood?
I was on my way home from work with my mom, and my little brother, he's around 10 years old. Yeah. He calls my mom, and he's like, "Mom, the house just shook. What do I do?" And then he flips his FaceTime camera, and there's a big cloud of smoke. We're coming over the bridge by High V, and we look out the window, and we just see so much smoke. And we get to around by Bill's, and we can see kind of back into the house, and it's just all orange flames, and it's incredibly sad, but I've heard everybody that was in the house made it out okay.
Okay, that's good. Did you hear from people in the area?
Yeah, from people in the area. I've heard that people made it out.
I mean, we're hoping that's
yes.
the case. And you were texting your neighbors, checking in
yes.
on them, because you know a lot of people
yes.
there, right?
No, everybody around in the neighborhood. I mean, our community is very tight, so I'd say that we all care about each other.
You're hearing it there. Everyone in that neighborhood very concerned right now, saying they all care for each other, and they are waiting to find out exactly what happened, just as we are. So the FAA and the NTSB, the National Transportation Safety Board, they are investigating this plane crash into that Brooklyn Park home. The NTSB did tell us that this is a single aircraft, a small plane that left Des Moines, Iowa, was trying to get to Anoka County Blaine Airport, crashed into a home in Brooklyn Park, though, and that happened around 12:20. And so first responders got there very quickly. There was a massive fire, and they were able to knock those flames down within an hour, actually, according to my time. They are still out there right now monitoring the situation, making sure that there aren't any hot spots, but this is what they rolled up to. As you can imagine, catching a lot of people that live nearby just really off guard. You don't see planes just falling from the sky into homes. And there's a lot of things that we are questioning right now. One of the main ones is, was there anyone inside there? We've been hearing from some witnesses that they saw people get out of the home. Some people say that, not everyone that lives there was home at the time. This is an important piece of information that we are waiting to find out from police, if anyone indeed was inside that home when that plane crashed into it and that fire just erupted. So something to keep in mind, though, with these types of investigations, there is so much ground that the FAA and the NTSB cover here. Just in my experience covering plane crashes, it is not going to be something that will happen quickly with this type of investigation. It is going to take a while. It could be a week, it could be days, it could be months before we find out exactly what happened with this plane. So there are so many things that investigators will look to. They will look to the weather. They will look to the plane model. They will look to audio, any communication with the pilot, and air traffic control. So those are all boxes that they are going to be checking, and they're probably already checking them as we speak. But we have not heard from them if they have any indication of exactly why that plane just went and dropped from the sky 5 miles short of where it was trying to land. We have our reporters out at the scene gathering all of this information the fastest way possible, just by talking with community members and talking with witnesses. And so we do have some new interviews here that we're going to share with you. This is, I believe, from some witnesses in the area.
I was in my kitchen, all of a sudden I heard this big boom, louder than I've ever heard living here, and I live real close to here.
I heard something that sounded like a car going down the road.
I was asking my kids what's going on. Is the house falling or something? One of my daughter came and said, "Hey, Mom, there's a crash just around our house." I said, "Ash."
Yeah. Imagine just sitting in your house and then feeling your house shake, like what a lot of those witnesses experienced, or hearing that boom too. Very unsettling to hear an explosion of that magnitude and that impact. And we have actually some Ring doorbell video that we're going to show you again, where you can hear the roar of the engine. And look to the right side of your screen by those pine trees. You can see the plane drop from the sky. So our Joe McCoy is out there right now. Joe, I know you've been talking with witnesses nearby. I know you are also keeping tabs on that press conference that we are waiting from authorities. Do you have any updates on when that press conference could be happening at all?
Morgan, it looks like that press conference could be happening any second now. We see the Brooklyn Park Communications Director walking.
Here we go, PIO.
Emergency officials. So this press conference may be happening any second now. So we may go over to where the press conference is happening to make sure that we get that for you live, Morgan.
Joe, right now, are they able to take down some of the perimeter? Are they shrinking the perimeter and letting anyone back into their homes at this point? Or is it still exactly what we saw before?
Not sure what we know about letting people back into their homes, Morgan. At this point, they are not shrinking the perimeter. It has been a massive perimeter since the moment I've got on scene here. I do want to mention, just literally a minute ago before I went live, there was a man who frantically came up to police saying either an animal or a family member lived in the home right next door to the homes that was crashed into by the plane. And we're going to go get you this press conference right now live, Morgan.
All right. Thanks, Joe, for standing by. Folks, if you were just joining us on our Care 11 Plus streaming app right now, we are following breaking news from a plane crashing into a Brooklyn Park home. The FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board are investigating this right now. We've been in touch with them. The NTSB says that this is a single engine plane that left Des Moines, Iowa earlier today and then crashed around 12:20 into that home. And we don't know why the plane crashed, how this could have happened, if there was anyone inside that home at the time of the crash. But we are awaiting our first update from authorities on the scene. And so I'm just hearing from my producer right now that press conference should be happening within 2 minutes. We're again just going to show you a map real quick of where this crash happened. It happened at 108th and Noble in Brooklyn Park, and that is about 5 miles away from where this plane was trying to land in Anoka County Blaines Airport. That airport is a smaller airport, and this was a smaller plane, and we don't know what could have happened here. We do know that there's been some slight wind today. There's been some rain, and our helicopter, actually, our news helicopter, was not able to fly the area and give us that view from the sky. And so we're just sitting patiently here, trying to figure out what could have happened. And hopefully we will hear an update on some of these big questions that we've had. My biggest question is, was there anyone inside that home when that plane went down earlier today? So hopefully we will be getting some answers from our authorities in Brooklyn Park. There are still several firefighters at the scene that are making sure those hot spots are out and that fire doesn't reignite, because that flame, the fire was massive. And so they're standing by too. But we have that press conference that is getting ready right now.
Developing situation. First, we will have Fire Chief Sean Conway, followed by Mayor of Brooklyn Park, Hollis Winston. They will spell their first and last names before they go up. And with that, I'll turn it over to Fire Chief Conway.
Good afternoon. Appreciate everybody's time coming today. My name is Sean, S-H-A-W-N, Conway, C-O-N-W-A-Y. I'm the fire chief here in Brooklyn Park. So this afternoon at approximately 12:22 p.m., the Brooklyn Park Fire Department was dispatched to an aircraft incident. Upon arrival by our incident commander, he had seen that this is a fully involved structure fire. He then had changed the incident type code to structure fire. There was no apparent aircraft in and around the area until after the structure fire was contained. There are no survivors from the aircraft which struck the home. And what we're asking for right now is for the neighborhood to please give us a little opportunity to continue to process the scene and work through this. There were no occupant fatalities. Everybody was exited the home safely. And with that, I'll introduce Mayor Hollis Winston.
Hi, so Mayor Hollis Winston, first name Hollies, last name Winston, Winston. Just to echo a little bit of what Fire Chief Conway said, as a city, we're grateful there are no casualties within the actual residence itself. Heart goes out to the families of folks that were in the plane. But I will say that as a community and as a city, we're very much going to surround the families that have been affected by this. Our heart very much goes out to them. I want to thank our first responders, I think firstly those in Brooklyn Park who arrived and handled this very quickly. But there's also been some partners who have helped with this. So Fridley, Osseo, and Plymouth. Their fire departments have been very supportive and have actually helped us deploy resources and handle this situation. We want to ask the public again to respect what our first responders are doing in terms of securing the area and making sure everything is safe. And again, thank you to, we've received a ton of texts and support from other leaders across the state. And then, of course, our Public Safety Commission, Governor Walz, thank you so much for supporting us and providing resources to our city as well. So we want to thank the group effort that's been brought here. And again, as a city, we will support the residents that are affected. Thank you.
As we continue, we will be working with the FAA and the NTSB. This is all the information we have for you right now, and then we will provide more information at a later time, which we will share with you when we get the appropriate information to share. Thank you.
Do you know how many people were in the plane?
The situation is still developing. We will be offering another update as soon as we can. Our public safety professionals do have to get back to the incident as it continues.
Just to clear up some, I know there's some stuff on Facebook where the occupants inside the home when the plane crashed and then they exited, or did they exit before the crash?
That is part of an ongoing investigation right now. We will clarify that at a later time.
Okay. And then as far as how the update goes, do you assume tonight or tomorrow night or?
We should be able to provide that this evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So,
Right. Well, as you just heard it there from our city leaders in Brooklyn Park, saying that there was no occupants in the home injured, but they did unfortunately give us that update that there were no survivors aboard that plane that crashed into that Brooklyn Park home. So this is a very developing situation at the moment right now. We're going to continue to ask these questions and to try and figure out what happened here. But a major question that we had was just answered, and that is that no occupants of the home were killed or injured in this crash, but unfortunately, and also a big update that there were no survivors aboard that plane. So thank you for sticking with us here on KARE 11 Plus. We have several reporters out there right now that are working to continue to talk to people at the scene, and we'll continue to ask these questions. We'll have more coverage coming up on KARE 11 News at 5 and KARE 11 News at 6. For now, I'm Morgan Wolf. Thank you for joining us.
all right. So it doesn't look like anyone on the plane made it. That's crazy. But it's good. Good news. I mean, lucky no one in the house, because this thing like literally dropped from the sky like a missile. The way we saw it. See that? It's crazy. Look, see what I mean? That's the ring camera from it dropping from the sky. Horrible. Look at the trajectory. Look at the trajectory. Absolutely crazy. Sad too. All right, so let me just do a browse here and see if there's additional information that we can share. But I don't think we're going to get any information about names of people on the plane, but it's horrible that no one on that plane survived. So the question is, how many people were on that plane? People saying hold 6 or 7. Was it full? And I mean, what happened here? What happened? And you see. I'll show you the fire earlier again. Horrible. This is right outside Minneapolis. The temperature's in the upper 30s. Upper 30s in that area. Drop down like a missile. Who's the pilot? Who are the occupants? Said they're gonna they have more boots on the ground journalists there. But that's what we have so far. For people who are coming in the chat, I guess we'll do a subsequent update. But nobody on that plane survived. And this was the scene earlier. It seems like they put out the fire now. Void the area. Still a lot of unknowns, though. Still a lot of unknowns. And when we get more information, we'll share it here on JLR Investigates. I do not see any other live footage out there of what's going on, but we pretty much got the gist. Now we just have to try to fill in the little pieces. How many people were on the plane, the names of the people on the plane, and what happened, how this plane crashed. Scary stuff. We continue to cover these plane crashes around the country. Do you feel safe to fly? I'm starting to question it a little bit. Small planes, commercial planes, helicopters. What in the world is going on? For sure. What in the world is going on? Why does this keep happening? And hopefully it doesn't happen again. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. Sub to the channel, like, hit the notification button, and if anything else breaks here, I'll blow myself up. Scary stuff. You hear it here first on JLR Investigates. We are scouring the net always when it comes to these terrible situations, trying to get an understanding. Scary. Stay safe out there. All right, folks. We'll talk soon. If anything else comes, you'll hear it here pretty much first. JLR Investigates. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.